Question number 6. -3, -7 lies on the circle centre 5, 1. Whenever you're told that something lies on a line or lies on a circle, you can be sure that if you put the number before the comma where x is and the number after the comma where y is, you will get something true. So here's the equation of a circle that has centre 5, 1. I don't know the radius, so just write an R, that's fine. It is a fact, as I said before, that this will be true if you put the -3 where x is, and it is a fact that you will get something true if you put the -7 where y is. So in fact I can find r pretty sweetly. That's -8, so it's 64 plus 64 equals r squared. So r squared equals 128, so r equals the square root of 128. Now my job is to find the equation of the tangent to the circle at A, so I definitely need a diagram. Here's -3, -7. The center of the circle was 5, 1 to there. So that's the center, and we've got a tangent here, and they want us to give the equation of that tangent. Okay, well the template for the equation of a line, year 9, is y equals mx plus c. This one is much better because you get it the moment you filled in this detail, this detail, and this detail. This detail and this detail just comes from a point that you're sure it goes through. So y minus -7 equals mx minus x1. The gradient of this, well, let's work out the gradient of this, even though we're not asked to. The gradient of that is the second y minus the first y over the second x minus the first x. Oh wait, I don't know why I wrote that. So that's 8 over 8, which is 1. So therefore the gradient we want is -1, because whenever you steal a gradient for a perpendicular line, you have to take the reciprocal of the gradient you're stealing and change its sign. So from positive to negative, or negative to positive. I don't know why I didn't write the -3 there. Okay, so here's my tidying. This video is another embarrassing example of how I'm so inclined to get myself in the groove when I'm reading a problem to make sure I'm understanding it that I sometimes do unnecessary work. Determining the radius was not necessary for this question. So though in these videos you'll see me doing lots of work to get myself in the groove, you should do that in moderation. Probably took me about a minute to work that out, or certainly a minute to explain it. Time is precious. You don't want to be doing that in the exam. Question 7. X plus 3. So that's the equation of a circle. We've got lots of details for that. Barely 60 seconds ago I said don't go overboard getting yourself in the groove, but it's certainly not time wasted to say that that is a circle centre at -3, -8, and with a radius of 10. How did I get the -3, the -8? It's by comparing it to this template. The only thing that can explain why that's come out as y plus 8 is the fact that the b was -8, so it's y minus -8. Subtraction of a negative is adding, so that's why it's come out as plus 8. Okay, so that is my circle. That certainly enables me quickly to draw a diagram. That's how you graph circles, is by nailing the center and the radius. So -3 to the left, 8 down. That's my center, and the radius is 10. So go up 10, across 10, and then you're good to go. I really should have had a compass. Sorry about that. Okay, there's my pretty bad looking circle. Now, this meets the positive coordinate axes. That just means positive coordinate axes just means that part of the y-axis and that part of the x-axis. So this first question, where we have to find a and b. So this is 0, b, and this is a, 0. They yeah, we'll just get them by doing classic x and y intercepts. Here I'm doing the y-intercept. So y equals -8 plus root 91, or y equals -8 minus root 91. Which of those is what we actually wanted? We wanted this one. So b is positive. Let's just check that's positive. That's a little bit less than 10, because it's a little bit less than the square root of 100. It's certainly more than 9, because it's more than the square root of 81. So therefore this will be a positive number. So b equals -8 plus 91. What I just did then was check that my answer was sensible. Okay, don't just pick the higher of them assuming that it's positive. It will not always be the case. If that had been a 63, then this one would not have been positive. It would have been slightly negative. Okay. Now I'm going to do the x-intercepts. So here I'm doing the x-intercepts. Come from y being 0. So it's 64, take that away from 100, you get 36. So x plus 3 equals 6, or x plus 3 equals -6. So x equals 3, or x equals -9. So therefore, a being the positive x-intercept is 3. Now, I'll just explain what these negative ones are that we rejected. It's clearly the case that there is another y-intercept. It's down there. That's the other one. And there's another x-intercept that's over there. I was supposed to be -9, so you can see how bad my diagram is, because it's come out as -8. If I'd used a compass, it would have been closer. Okay, so that's the first part of question 7, to find the values of a and b. We also need to find the equation of the line AB. B was the name given to the y-intercept, and A was the name given to the x-intercept. Let's use the equation of a line template. Just got to fill in 3 details. I need a point that it goes through. Okay, let's pick this one because it had whole numbers. So y minus 0 equals mx minus 3, and now I need a gradient. A gradient will be the best method for getting a gradient on this is just to use that triangle. How high is it? It's -8 plus root 91. And how wide is it? It's 3. And because it's sloping down from left to right, you need to make sure there is a that what you present as the gradient is negative. We already ascertained that this was a positive number, this is a positive number, so to make sure the gradient is negative, we need to stick a negative out the front. So the final not very tidy answer is root 91 minus 3 over 3 x minus 3. Now normally I would expand that and tidy it up so that I could say that there were 3 terms, the y on the left and then 2 terms on the right, but I have trouble believing that anything I produce from expanding that will be tidier than that. It's because of the square root, so I'm just going to leave that alone. That's the answer to part B. That's the equation of the line AB. Question 8 is similar to question 7. We've been given the equation of the line. That is a circle centre -2, 5, and its radius is 13. So it won't be hard at all to graph that, to draw that. So centre is -2, 5. Radius is 13. Oh, that's slightly too high. It's not a circle. So that's -2, 5, and that is a distance of 13. I don't think I've drawn that very well. Which means, for example, that is 11, 5. Okay, now we're told that it meets the positive axes at C, which is little c, 0, and D, which is 0, D, and we're being asked to find the equations of those. So let's find the y-intercept. It's only the positive answer we want, so our D is square root of 165 plus 5. Now I'm going to